Urban Meyer out in Jacksonville, having coached just 13 NFL games. Now, how has it gone since he got hired? Candidly, it's been one disaster after another. Back in February, he hired former Iowa strength coach Chris Doyle, who had been accused of making racist remarks and bullying black players. Doyle didn't last but a day. In May, Meyer and the Jaguars signing Tim Tebow to play tight end, a position the former Heisman winner had never played. He was in OTA's minicamp. Training camp was released during the first cuts. Then a video began circulating on social media on October 1st that showed a woman who was not Meyer's wife dancing close to his lap at his Columbus restaurant, another embarrassing episode. And then the latest embarrassment was a report this week in which former kicker Josh Lambo alleged that Meyer kicked him in the leg while he was stretching in warm-ups before a practice during the week of the final preseason game. So, again, while you were sleeping, the owner in Jacksonville, Shad Khan, with a statement that reads, after deliberation over many weeks and a thorough analysis of the entirety of Urban's tenure with our team, I am bitterly disappointed to arrive at the conclusion that an immediate change is imperative for everyone. I informed Urban of the change this evening. As I stated in October, regaining our trust and respect was essential. Regrettably, it did not happen. Okay, so much to unpack here, but there's only one place I can start, because I follow Damian Woody on Twitter, and I think we all had a sense this might happen when I saw what you tweeted. What was your response when you heard about the kicking of the kicker?
Man, I wish a coach would have kicked me, because Lord have mercy, it would have went down on the field. Let me tell you about that. I mean, the disrespect that a coach has to think that as a, we as players, as employees, that you feel empowered to kick me. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn how much leg you put behind it. The fact that you felt empowered enough to kick a player, that just encompasses, I think, the mindset of Urban Meyer as it relates to players, not only on the collegiate level, but in pro football. You're dealing with grown men, and you felt like you could disrespect a guy like that. I mean, I felt from the beginning this whole experiment was going to blow up. Right. I just didn't know it was going to blow up this fast.
13 games.
I mean, his reputation, you talk about just as a person, a TV personality, whatever he wants to do for the rest of his life is forever damaged, right? And when you have this type of cancer in your organization, you don't try and treat it, you cut it out. And I don't care what it costs, Shad Khan, and I don't know if his conduct detrimental to as far as him getting his money, because to me it felt like for a second he was trying to get fired, right? Because we know that coaches' contracts is guaranteed. But I mean, it speaks volumes the fact that he felt emboldened enough to look down on a player as if he was beneath him. And that's what happens. And that's what happens to a lot of college coaches when they think they can talk and say to players what they can think they can say to a college kid, because that's a young man, not a grown man. And they feel like they control their future, because if they take away their opportunity to play football, they have to transfer, drop down, may not get another opportunity. So they hold it over their heads. But a lot of college coaches don't come in and realize that the players have more security than you have as a head coach. I mean, listen, first of all, you guys never heard about me in college, because it was going down with me and one of my coaches, and he didn't even kick me. He tried to smack an apple out of my hand. If somebody would have put their feet on me, man, listen, it's weird, man. I've never seen a gazelle go poke a bear at a lion. And when you're dealing with professional athletes, I mean, I don't care, kicker or not, man, I still would be wearing his ass out.
So I felt we had to start there. So you get a sense of the way football players feel about this. Let's get now into a little more of the nitty-gritty. As you talk to people around the league, and again, the actual firing took place late last night, but Kmart, this has been brewing for a while. What sorts of things have you been hearing?
So Bart mentioned the reputation. We all had questions about Urban Meyer, college guy. How would he deal with an NFL locker room? What surprised me the most was that NFL people were taking bets, playfully, like the over and under. How many games do you think how many years do you think he'll be here? Probably less than 2. And that was consistent in all the conversations I've had. I checked in with people yesterday. I said, how long do you think this guy actually lasts? And they said, if he makes it to year 2, then that says Shad Khan, you have to question everything he said he wanted in a leader. And then hours later, we see this.
So, Louis Riddick, let me come to you on this. As a person who's been involved at almost every level of pro football, and you and I have talked about Urban Meyer a million times, I also had some of the concerns that Damien Woody brought up, but I thought that Urban's intelligence, which I have witnessed firsthand, would allow him to understand that he could not behave the same way in this setting as he did in college, and clearly I was wrong regarding that. What is your primary takeaway from what we saw last night?
Look, this is the biggest failure of leadership on the part of a coach, probably in the history of the NFL, at least in my time anyway. Someone who was handed, gifted, didn't earn, he was handed and gifted an opportunity where he had free reign over an organization. Shad Khan gave Urban Meyer everything he possibly could want to go ahead and restructure and rebuild his organization as he saw fit, and he trusted him. He trusted him to do that, although, again, let me reemphasize this. As it relates to the NFL, he had not earned squat. He didn't earn this opportunity. There were many, many other coaches, minority and otherwise, just for those people out there who believe that now I'm just going to be advocating on behalf of minorities. I'm talking about all coaches who were qualified. He was handed an opportunity over them by Shad because Shad felt as though he needed to go in a different direction, given some of the lack of success that he had hiring coaches before him. And what did Urban Meyer do with it? He made it about him and didn't make it about the team, didn't make it about establishing his credibility, didn't make it about showing how competent he could be on the NFL level, didn't make it about having a positive impact on the #1 draft pick, one of the best quarterbacks to come out in the draft by all accounts from everyone you talk to for the past 20, 30 years. He didn't make it about any of those people. He turned it into it being about him. All the way from hiring somebody like a Tim Doyle from Iowa who had no credibility, no business being hired by an NFL football team, not accompanying your team back from a road trip and staying back in Columbus and getting yourself embroiled in the kind of controversy he was embroiled with that. I'll just leave that right there. And then just totally losing the respect and trust of the people in his locker room, allegedly.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.